Well, that's a little out of date. Made a video on this ATOMIX clock some time back. There's going to be a link in the description, of course, to that. And one thing I had discovered with it was the fact that the buttons on it didn't really work. So just as a memory refresher, we'll go just over to calendar and the month. You can hear me pressing the button. If I press it harder, it kind of works. The date, kinda. You gotta really mash it. And the year seems to work a little better than the rest. But anyway, I got this bug up my ass. I bought this clock years ago. Many years ago. I can't even remember when. And originally I wanted to put this in my kitchen up on the wall. That never happened. There's been a slew of other clocks there, and that's that. So this never made it there. Then I was sent this thing from China, the DOVEET big clock with indoor and outdoor weather, and I was going to put this in my office, and I said, yeah, I mean, it would be great, and I love the big numbers on it, but I said, you know what, this has got big numbers on it too. This does not do outdoor temperature, only indoor. And I said, you know what, it doesn't make sense to put this guy in there, because if I do, I already have a weather station in the office, and having it there would be just a duplication of what's already there. Yeah, it's nice I can just glance over. Of course, I can just glance at the weather station. It's got nice big numbers for the time and everything right there. It's right next to me, but I said, let me put this thing into service. There's a big open space on the wall. This guy would fit without a question, but I said, you know, that's probably better suited to the basement. But if I'm going to put this in service, then buttons not working ain't good. So we're going to open this up and see if anything can be done. There are a bunch of little screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 little screws I got to pull. I'm not even going to speed through that. I'm just going to take them screws out, and we'll come back when I have this case ready to open. Alright, the screws are out. The case appears to separate without any trouble whatsoever. Interesting. We have a ribbon cable. Hopefully I don't rip any other wires off. And this is the button board. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more screws? That's nuts. Wow. Well, I gotta get them out, so we'll do that and come back. I met this guy by the name of Ben Derby before. And then, you know, I said, Ben, how you doing? He says, oh, you got my name wrong. I said, what do you mean? He says, it's been there before. Yeah, we came across this type of setup in one of the lacrosse clocks, link in the description, where there are metal buttons that are scotch taped in place. What could possibly go wrong here? I don't know. It's like it's sealed with the tape. Now, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but I kind of noticed that these buttons are maybe not quite in the right position. Like, I don't know if this thing was always tough to set and it just wasn't assembled right or what. What I'm going to do is see if I can peel off that tape If I can find the end of it, here it is. Yeah, that's starting to come. Oh, this is gonna suck. This is like a whole pain in the ass. Not that I didn't expect it. Oh. Alright. I'm not gonna waste your time with this. I'm peeling a piece of tape off. You might. Can you figure that out? No? Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, it's peeling off a piece of tape is what we're doing. 64 hours later, I got updates. Got the tape off. It, of course, tore halfway through, and that was the end of that. That was real nice. What I'm going to try is some of this stuff. It doesn't look dirty or that there's any problem whatsoever, but I figure as long as I'm doing it, I might as well. Is there another piece of tape there? There is a little bit of tape left. I'll be dipped. I'm going that way now. Well, I thought I got all of that. I guess not. Now I did. There. Now that won't go anywhere. So, like I said, it doesn't look dirty. All of these pads have little holes in them, and all of the little buttons here have two little tangs that go in there. So, in a perfect world, as X081X says, there's no such thing, so it's not going to work. You put the little tangs in there, and then put new tape on it, and that's, it's fixed. So I'm going to use some of this stuff, which is like poor man's deoxit. This is MG Chemicals contact cleaner. I'm thinking maybe I want to drip it down this way. Okay. We'll let that evaporate. I'll hit these two. Of course, they blew away. That's nice. Getting caught in the fibresses of the towel. And I can't damage these because I don't have any replacements. Alright, that's good. That's we're going to just leave that to do its thing for time. I should probably move these out of there as well, just to allow them to dry a little more thoroughly. And then we're going to go ahead and put this guy back together, only to find that it probably isn't going to work any better than it originally did, because China. I don't know. The way, like I said, the buttons were sitting on there were... It didn't look like they were exactly straight. So everything is, for the most part, dry. But I'm going to leave everything for just a while. I have to get some tape as well, which, ironically enough, I just had down here the other day. But that went back where it belongs. So, yeah, I got them fumes going. So we're going to leave that to cook for a little bit. And then we're going to try to reassemble it. And then somehow I'm supposed to put this back together with the tape on it. Don't know if I'm going to show that part. But while we have it open and we're chatting, this is the antenna for the atomic clock that never sets on this thing. It's supposed to set anatomically, and it doesn't. And it never, ever, ever worked. The little indicator flashes, but I guess there's too much hash in the air, or I don't know. But it never, ever, 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 ever set properly. So it's just a manual set clock. I mean, I bought it just because of the big numbers, and that's that. So I'm going to get some tape and see if I can reassemble this, and we'll go from there. I'm old, so I'm going to put this on. Maybe that'll help me see a little better. Yeah, that should do the trick. Well, it's time to make believe I know what I'm doing reassembling this. So, if I could flatten this down. In fact, I got a better idea. I'm going to tape it down temporarily. It's going to move still, but I figure, well, I got to get it out of that area. There. Okay, that'll fall. Yeah, there's like no good way to do this. That one's in. So I don't know if you could see that, but I just put the little 2 tabs into the holes, and we just have to do that for all of them without knocking ones that I've already put in out. And this is a tedious process. There's 2, and it's there. I don't know if it matters if they all go the same way or not. I'm going to imagine not. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that because of they're kind of triangular in shape. So I'm just going to mess with this and get those in. They are indeed back in, and I have them all going the same way. Could that be the wrong way? You're damn right it might be. I don't know. It looks like it should work either way. The only real way is to test it out. So I got to put some tape on it and give it a shot. That I'm going to try to do. Yeah, that's too long. Is that a problem? No. Is it close to the right length? It's too long. Let's try one more piece. Let's try that. See how that compares. Yeah, that's a little better. Just sort of... Oh, not cool. Oh, I think I got it. All the buttons with the static electrism pop just said, no, we're not staying in place, man. But I think we're good. Is it a factory job? No, I don't do factory work. All right, well, that's all I got, really. So I think now, can a guy take this tape off without disturbing the other tape? No, of course not. Just hold the buttons in place and maybe you're sneaking out. That worked. And this one should just sort of come up. Come on, peel. There you go. Come on. There it is. I have to hit the other contacts with poor man's deoxit. But I guess what we're going to do is the right way would be to mount it, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do that. Hope it doesn't short out. I think it's all right. And I got batteries here for that. Of course, gotta. All right, that's not gonna work. Not a problem. I just got to put all them back in there and The board holds them in place. That was an oversight. All right, we can deal with that. That's gonna suck. There's one more little one that I'm gonna have to find. Oh, here. Yeah, that's everything. All right, now we'll make believe that never happened. Flip this back over and stick some batteries in and see if it works. I don't know if I can show you at the same time. That's kind of... No, it's actually not going to work because I need these in there for the damn contacts. Okay, we're going to stop down and put 8 fucking screws back in. Ah, I love this. Yeah, that's great. While the board's back in, I haven't put the case screws in because, you know, I'm going back in here, right? Okay. That's good. Did I not put the batteries in right? Oh, good. It's dead. Why? Why? Why is it dead? Did a wire come undone? No. That's not cool. Well, let me dick around. FATTD. Fucked around till trouble disappeared. All right. It's on. We got to do time set. Well, we'll do calendar first. Month. Great, that's just working peachy. Now they're super sensitive. Certainly work better. Except for the year. That doesn't work. That kind of does. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, that's the end of it. See, what happened was, through no fault of my own, the plastic that these go into is no good. So this sort of pulled out and it don't stay. So that's a problem. That's a big problem. Could a guy wedge something in there? Maybe. I followed the lightest of torque on every single one of these screws because I knew something like this might happen, and yet it did anyway. Now, why that... I don't know why it keeps changing months. Apparently you can set multiple things at the same time. And then it'll kind of stop. But it's actually not that big of a deal. It'll just be a pain in the ass because when I set the thing, it'll stay. So it doesn't matter if the buttons are pressed. So I made it worse, but I made it better at the same time. I guess the only The only thing I can do is take it apart again, and I'm going to have to crazy glue that thing in, that screw there. And that's the only way, and it's going to be what it's going to be. So I'll come back after I break it more. I checked the whole thing over. That means I looked at it. It's all there exactly as I left it. Button clicks. It's got everything it needs to. As far as that goes, I don't know. I just don't know. And I thought maybe a better solution, instead of crazy gluing that screw in, would be, what else? Hot glue. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this board back up and play around, and I'm going to hot glue it in places and just load it up with hot glue. The reason is so I can take the hot glue off later on when I need to service it again, at which point I'll get totally frustrated with it and just get rid of it. Yeah, this was probably a bad idea, but it certainly is kind of a little better than it was. I can sort of set the time and the month and the day and the year and all that with all the just sliding the switches here, because it'll stop when it goes into the lock position, and just kind of sort of like this clock where you have hour, you can't even see it here, this clock where it goes hour and minute, and then you have to get it right back in the middle position, and there's no way to get it, so you got to play with it and go all the way around the clock again and all that. I'm just gonna FATTD once again and come back later. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. I don't know. I mean, gluing the board is one thing, but it just isn't working properly, these buttons. Because the year just changes on its own. The date changes on its own. The time, can a guy even change that? It keeps wanting to change the year. I did solve one problem, which was when it wasn't working at all before. There is a reset button on the back here, right over here. And that, because these buttons are so fucked, right there was causing the issue. It essentially was making it like the year and the date, where they're just pushed in solid, and that's that. And the way it's constructed, the only way to do anything is to take the 8 screws out of the board over here to get at that. And when you do that, then all of the buttons and the little slider things and stuff fall out. This one is loose. It always was, but I think that used to be that. So I'd have to swap those, so that means I got to take it out again. And what I did do with the board, those 5 little contact pads, I peeled off the tape and I went and I redid it all again, but this time I turned them 180 degrees, and still, it's fucked up. We know it's crap, but I mean, it was kind of working better before I touched it. And that's the part that I can't figure out. Because I went through all the right steps. I cleaned it with deoxit or something. They dried for the requisite amount of time. I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can do is take it apart again and put it back together again, and take it apart again and put it back together again. But if the damn time would set on the fucking atomic clock like it's supposed to, this wouldn't even be a problem. Because I just put batteries in, just let it sync up and magic, and but it never, nothing about it ever worked right. I have one other clock that I made a video about, and I can't remember what it was called, that I bought at Kmart when they were still in business, and the box and everything made it look really nice, but it ended up being horrible, horrible, horrible. And for some reason, I never returned it. Like, I don't know. It sat and I have it and it's no good and it doesn't do any good. And this is kind of like the same thing. It doesn't want to work the way it's supposed to. And I don't know why. I don't know what else to do with these buttons at this point. So I'm just going to take it apart, put it back together a few more times, glue the board down, and figure it out from there. That's really all I can do. I just went through this fucking thing another time. There's absolutely no reason it shouldn't work, but I figured out why it doesn't work. China. This was made to a price, and it was made to fail, and it never did work right from the beginning. I took out these contacts, I re-cleaned everything. Every one of them clicks like they all were doing. Everything is 100% how it should be, and this thing just does not want to cooperate. So I'm going to put it back together. We'll make sure it still doesn't work, and after that, I'm done. And should I have not opened it? Probably. It was a bad idea. This is another case of good intentions gone bad. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Oh well. Never worked right to begin with, but then again, I've never had another atomic clock that has picked up the signal anatomically. So it is what it is around here as far as that's concerned. So I can't use it. If I could put it back together and it'll set itself atomically for somebody else, then great, but it don't work for me. And I went on that Jungle website, took a look, and I found one that's kind of similar for like $25, and I got gift card money from a side gig that I do. I get like Amazon gift card money and stuff. So I could just waste a few bucks on that. It's $25, you know. Even though I could wait 6 years, China will say, "Oh, you could test our crock." I said, "Yeah, I tested out. It's a crock of shit." So that's really all there is to it. It's just a matter of putting this back together. Let me just slam it back together for a minute, and I'll show you it still doesn't work, and that'll be it. Alright, I haven't put the case screws back, but what's that song, Ain't Misbehavin'? Well, it ain't behaving either. Flashing, that means set me. Month. Touchy. Time. That. 5:40 p.m. Where's hour and minute? There you go. It's fixed. I don't know how I did that. Oh, we got Celsius. That's not going to work. I'm going to try that now. That's that button. We got it. The buttons are such garbage, such shit, and just barely work. But somehow, I actually got it to fucking work after all of that. I have no idea how, but I came out the martyr in the end. I'm gonna just I'm not gonna glue the board. I'm just gonna be super careful with it, and keep that other one in the Jungle website shopping cart, because this probably won't last long. You know how it goes. Just put the corners in just to get them together. Yep, it works. I fixed it. I don't know how, but I had to fix it 3 times to make it work. So, like I said, I'm gonna keep that other one questionable as far as whether or not I'll order it or not. There's going to be people that's telling me that I'm putting the screws in wrong, because you're supposed to unscrew them first till it clicks like that and screw them in. I know the trick. I use the trick, not always, but sometimes. And they go right in. Let me put one in here. Usually I don't tighten them all the way down, but I'm just so done with this that I'm that done with it. Yes, there are crappy batteries in it. Oh, okay, here. There. Alright, you happy? Screwdriver slipped. But I did that with the circuit board inside, and that didn't make any difference. It just wanted to crap out. And there it is. The finished Clark. Yep. It works. Yay. I hope the batteries never go dead. Anyway, that's going to wrap this up. No idea how I fixed it, just that I did. So, yeah, it's kind of the same thing as usual. Just pure junk. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like. Make sure you click subscribe. And take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.